Good afternoon to you and welcome to St. Conleth's Park here in Newbridge in County Kildare for the first round of the Lidl Ladies National Football League. It's Division 3, it's round 1 and it sees the home side Kildare take on Down. My name is Killian Whelan and for the next couple of hours we'll be bringing you the best of the action from this eagerly anticipated clash between these sides. Both sides who have played each other over the number of years and many a battle has taken place between them. Of course, both sides with new managements in place. Peter Lynch and Caoimhe Sloan, joint managers of Down, back in harness after a year or two away, and Diana O'Hora, of course, has now taken on the mantle of manager, having been coach with the team last year. So it'll be interesting to see both teams, of course, having disappointing championship campaigns. Kildare winning the Leinster Intermediate title, but subsequently didn't avail of anything within the All-Ireland series, and unfortunately for Down, they were to slip out of the Intermediate Championship and find themselves relegated to Junior. Kildare, as regards the league, well, they'll be hoping to go one step further than they have done in the last couple of years. Of course, they got to the final in 2021 when, of course, they lost out to Laois, and last year they got to the semi-final where they lost out to subsequent winners Roscommon, whereas Down, of course, they did get to that semi-final last year as well, where they lost out to Wexford. So plenty of similarities between both sides, maybe a nod towards Kildare in some ways on the fact that they're on home turf, and Diana O'Hora knows that they'll have to get off to a good start, especially with their first two matches at home. Top two, don't forget, qualify for the final. No semi-finals this year, and of course we're back to the 7-game league, so lots of action over the next number of weeks all the way through to the finals on April the 16th. So as I said, we'll be bringing you the best of the action here live from St. Conleth's Park in Newbridge throughout the afternoon. I'll be joined on commentary by a man who knows his way around the GA pitch. That, of course, is former Kildare Gaelic footballer Tommy Mullick. The man you see on camera is Down manager Peter Lynch. Peter, back in harness yourself and Caoimhe after a year or two away.
Yeah, we stepped down in 2021 and we had a year away, so we're glad to be back this year, back at it again, yeah.
Back at it, and Down obviously probably feeling that last year didn't go well for them in lots of ways, so hoping to get back in harness, let's say, and prove the standard that they've always been at, let's say.
Yeah, well, I think the people who are disappointed most last year will be the players and the management involved, because they know they're better, but the league wasn't that bad. They reached the semi-final last year. The championship, it was disappointing, but look, we have to regroup and go again, and look, we're happy with where we are at the minute. It's about just trying to make progress,
Peter, glad to be back though, I'd imagine, to a 7-game league as well. I know it's probably disappointing there's no semi-finals, but the top two will go through. Very important to get off to a good start, but glad to have more games again. Yeah,
definitely 7 games suits better. I mean, you can certainly use more players and get more people involved. The 3-game thing was very tight, and you tended to be playing the same teams all the time. But 7 games, I think it's more to what we're accustomed to, and definitely looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yourself and Caoimhe, you have a lot of youth in the team, but you've gone back to a few, I suppose, experienced players as well. 1 or 2 coming back into the setup as well.
Yeah, well, you always need that. Like Tash Farris, Kate McKay have been, they've been a lot of years playing with Down, and you can't ignore that, the sort of experience they bring to the team. They have a calming influence on younger players and great role models for them. So the young girls have come in. We have 3 minors in the squad, and they're all really bought in. They're going really well, and they're pushing hard. They're pushing the more experienced players hard. Yeah.
Finally, you've made the trip to Newbridge. Now you're taking on the Kildare side, of course, who might fancy their chances of getting out of the division and winning it in total. So coming down here, it's a tough ask, but I'm sure you're hoping to make a marker.
Well, I think every game's going to be tough. I think you look at the 8 teams in it, and every one of them can take points off the others. I think it's the tightest, I think, of all 4 divisions. I think every team at the start sees themselves as being contenders. Our hope is to be in the mix when it's coming down the home straight, that we have in there with a chance of going up. But look, we'll be giving it everything here today, and that's all we can ask of players.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Face you see on screen is Diana O'Hora, the Kildare manager, and that's a new title, of course, that you have. Diane, former coach but manager this year, stepping up into the top mantle.
Yeah, delighted, Killian, to still be involved with Kildare. I mean, really enjoyed it last year with Sean Finnegan and the management team there, and I suppose I'm honoured to have been trusted with the role, and we've built a really, really strong backroom team.
Looking at the team now as well, back into a 7-game division, of course, I'm sure you're happy enough with that, because they're just on the Peter there, feeling that the less games you didn't get a chance to see enough players and that kind of thing. So preferring, I'm sure, the 7-game league.
Yeah, there's that too, and you want to try and build your championship team as well as that, but anyone that's in Division 3 really wants to be up there in the top 2, and I suppose the concern is that there's no cushion, there's no fallback. You've got to win every game. There's no question about it, because there's no semi-finals this year. It's just a one-off final.
And you have a big target, of course, because your first 2 matches are home. I'm sure they're a serious target over the next week.
They certainly are, and our record, our Kildare ladies' record wouldn't be so great at home either, in this particular ground. So we hope that they can hit the ground running today and just put the head down and start well.
Then a lot of experience on your team. I know you have a few debutants, but you've also got the welcome return of 3 star players, I would essentially call them. Trina Duggan, Roisin Byrne back from injury, and obviously Grania Keneally offers so much as well.
Absolutely. You're blessed and you're honoured to have them want to come back into the team, and the shape that they came back as well. They're in really good physical condition. I know it's early days yet, but they're on a great trajectory, and it's really added to the intensity of training. It's made it competitive for places, and that's all we've been aspiring to do, is try and have that balance within the group, so we could have people really pushing hard for places, because that's what lifts the standard of training.
2022, my final question to you, for Kildare and Down, probably didn't end the way you wanted for either team, so I'm sure you're hoping for a bounce now at the start of 2023.
Yeah, it's like a banana skin of a game. You just don't know what it's going to be like. We'll have all played a couple of challenges, we'll have tried different players, different positions, different strategy systems and whatever, but I think we want to start strong today, and it's really important for us that we try and make sure that we maintain that, and keep our discipline throughout, and everything that we've been working on for the last couple of months, that we can actually bring it to this game today. So there's anxiousness, there's apprehension, but we hope that for all the supporters that come out, from the various families and clubs of the girls, that we give them something good to return today.
We wish you the best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Thanks. Andrew, welcome back here to St. Conleth's Park in Newbridge for this Little Ladies National Football League Division 3 Round 1 clash. It is between, of course, the home side Kildare and the visitors Down. My name is Killian Whelan, and as we have said at the top of the show, bringing you the best of this action now over the next hour and a half or thereabouts. And I'm glad to say I'm joined by, I'm sure he won't like me saying it, but he is a former Kildare footballer and a man that knows his way around the football field out here anyway, especially Tommy Mulick. Good afternoon to you, Tommy.
Good afternoon, Killian. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to today's game. Two, I suppose, really up-and-coming sides on both sides, I suppose, young, and we'll see how they go today. I suppose both teams are probably hoping to look up the table after today's performance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'd imagine from a Kildare point of view, Tommy, just quickly, 2 home games in a week, you'd be looking to set yourself up for a trip to Clare then with full points behind you. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I suppose you have to make use of the home games in these league situations. 2 home games, like you said, and then looking to Clare. But I suppose Down won't be no pushovers. They're coming down here. I suppose they have a bit of a point to prove after last year in terms of how the championship campaign went. So, really looking forward to it.
Right, let's give you the teams, and we'll hear more from Tommy as we go along. And we begin with the home side, Kildare, then, that sees a debutant in goal representing Raheens, the Junior A champions in Kildare, is Anna Dunlea. She'll be lining out, as said, for the first time in the senior jersey. She's helped out then in the full back line by Lauren Burke from Naas, Leisha Lenihan from Kill, who's the vice captain. She'll be on the edge of the square, and out in the left corner back position will be Claire Sullivan of Carberry. In the half back line, then another debutant, but a lady that knows her way around a football field, is Easttown's Ruth Sargent. She'll have number 5 on her back, come back from injury, and great to see at centre back is Trina Duggan from Suncroft, and out on the left wing will be Sarah Munley of Confey. An experienced enough midfield as well, led by captain Grace Clifford of the senior county champions, of course, Easttown, and she'll be joined by Aoife Rattigan of Kappa. The half forward line welcomes back, of course, Roisin Byrne, a great talisman over the years for Sarsfields and for Kildare. She back from injury and her travels as well. She will take up the number 11 shirt, and she'll be flanked by Lara Kern, who's no mean scorer herself, representing Milltown, the Junior B champions. scoring 329 across last year's league and championship. And on the left wing will be Hazel McLaughlin of Eatstown, and it's also a fairly strong full forward line. Wearing number 13 will be Ellen Dowling of Suncroft. Nasa Dooley representing Athy, who scored 11-11 last year, so we'll expect her to be on maybe the goal scoring form again today. She'll have the number 14 shirt. And out in the left corner is a debutant, Holly Tyrrell, representing the Junior C County Champions Rath Coffee. She will be wearing the number 15 shirt. We turn to Down then, the visitors, and a team that has a mixture of experience and youth, and it begins in goal with Kate McKay, a former captain and of course corner forward for Down, first represented Down back in 2009. Well, she's back in the Down team and returns with lining out with the number 1 jersey on her back today. She will be helped out of course with a very strong spine across the defence, including Ciara Byrne, the vice captain of Saville, and Megan Doherty, the captain, who will be the centre back. Flanking them in the full back line will be Amy Green of Taconic and Orla Boyle from RGU Downpatrick. And then on the wing back positions, it's Orla Duffy from the double winning county champions Breda and Alice McAlee from Dundrum. Then in the centre field position, a very experienced pair, Eva Lafferty, of course a lady who is lined up for Derry and now of course with Down, she of course from Breda, and she'll be helped out by another lady who has returned all the way back from Dubai, Clara Mulvena, the joint captain from Ross Trevor, is a strong centre midfield pairing. Then in the half forward line, it's Niamh Scullion of Ross Trevor, Amy O'Higgins of Bryansford, and Leisha Duffy of Breda. And again, it's a strong full forward line. Sarah Doherty of Bryansford, Natasha Ferris, top scorer last year with 222. She will be on the edge of the square, and she'll be flanked by the representative from Byrne, the intermediate finalist this year in Down. It's Emer Fitzpatrick. So, Tommy, two teams similar, you know, a mixture of youth and experience, number of minors within the setup for Down as well. So, you know, it's hard to know how this game will go usually, you know.
Yeah, it's going to be important to see. There's probably a few aspects of the game that's going to be important today in terms of kickouts. Anna Dunlea, her first time in goal for Kildare, debutant today. That's going to be interesting to see how the kick-out plan goes for Kildare. And on the opposite side, you have an outfield player, Katie McKay, who is a load of experience, I suppose, from her years with Down. But that kick-out strategy is going to be important. As well as that, you've mentioned, I suppose, Kildare having a few players back in terms of Roisin Byrne and Trina Duggan. I suppose, like you said, Roisin Byrne has been probably one of the top scorers, along with Nessa Dooley with Kildare. And then on the opposite side, I suppose, you have Clara Mulvena and Natasha Ferris in particular. Natasha would have been a very top scorer for Down last year. So it's going to be interesting matchups to see how it who marks who starting off. And in particular, I think the kick-out plan will be pivotal for who comes on top on this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As we said, plenty of experience in, and two sides that, you know, do know each other. Tommy, they've played, I know the shortened league last year, probably they didn't get to see each other, but they have played in championship and league over the years. And of course, Kildare, we were just talking about it here off mic, that you know, it's about 7-8 years ago now since they found themselves in Division 3. You know, for a county with the talent, they probably need to be getting out there. Yeah,
Kildare are kind of like a sleeping giant at the moment. Over the last 7 years, they've been thereabouts of getting out of Division 3, or I suppose they've been getting into semi-finals and finals and losing at the final hurdle. As well as that, I suppose they would have been very, very happy winning Leinster Championship last year, but particularly not going on in the All-Ireland series, getting knocked out early there would have been a disappointment for the Kildare team. And on the flip side, the Down team, I suppose similar enough. Ulster, their league campaign went okay. They got into a semi-final and elements like that, but in particular the championship campaign was fairly disappointing on their behalf, and where they're now playing their football, applying their trade down in the junior championship for this year. But again, like I said, you'd have to fancy Kildare with home advantage, but again, Down coming down, point to prove. They're dangerous. A wounded animal is dangerous, so it's going to be interesting to see how they match up and the intensity that they bring to the game.
Yeah, both teams, of course, they won't have been happy with the end of 2022, the way it all turned out. Down got relegated to junior, and you know, Tommy, just quickly on that, you know, Down in junior football, you'd imagine they'll be one of the favourites for the junior championship ultimately, because you'd feel again they're well down some of the levels there, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. And again, in this division, playing their trade in the league division, this division is important to them to really build confidence off that as well, that they're probably on top of a few teams who other teams who are in the junior division, and as well as that, having the players back of the likes of Clara in the middle of the field and Kate in goal. Them players coming back will give them a real boost for today and for furthermore down the championship when they come to championship.
Of course, we know that we're back now to a 7-game league. It's good as well, Tommy, for that. You know, managers now get to see, I suppose, their panel a little bit more in full in preparation then for championship ultimately. Yeah,
I suppose again a small bit different from their male counterparts, where you'd have an O'Byrne Cup or something in a pre-season competition. With ladies football, it's a small bit different, where they don't get that kind of luxury to see and bet in new players. So it's important to use your panel at this period of time in preparation for championship, but also you need to set up a starting point here, so fairly important.
Yeah, fairly important, all right. And of course, just seeing a down team that are led by Peter Lynch and Cueva Sloan. But I believe in the background, Tommy, you know, lads that you might have come across over the years, the names of McKernan in Poland.
Yeah, names that I don't really like anymore. But anyway, we would have seen them in particular over the last number of years, probably going head to head against them. But yeah, look, there's 2 new managements here. They're kind of been around the teams before, but in particular, what you will see is, I suppose, new styles with Peter Lynch and Cueva Sloan in Down, and Diana Hora, who would have been involved with Kildare last year, probably knows the players, but probably have to bring her own style to things, and there is changes being made. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting. She has to see, the both managements have to see who's their best team, and this is a great test for both teams.
Yeah, great test for both teams as we get ready to get into position then and get up and running here in St. Conleth's Park in Newbridge. Match official, and we won't miss him in his lime fluorescent colours. Out there is Kieran Groom from Offaly. Kieran didn't have too far to travel for this encounter, but Kildare girls now just getting into position and Down about to join them. So in the middle of the field will be Grace Clifford, the Kildare captain, and Aoife Rattigan, and it looks like going in there for the throw. Down have made a couple of positional switches. Clara Mulvenna looks like I should say, looks like she's going centre forward at the moment for this throw up. So yeah, we'll see what way it all teases out, Tommy, over the next couple of minutes. Yeah,
Kildare have made a few positional changes as well. Trina Duggan's moved out to the wing, where Ruth Sargent's gone in centre half back. So there's a lot of positional changes here. It's a nightmare for us, but I suppose the modern game's like that at the moment, where you see different changes.
They were best to keep it going. Kieran Groom knocks it in. It's Down to get on the attack, as they will attack the scoreboard end here of St. Conleth's Park, or as it's known locally, the Kilcullen end, off to our right hand side. To our left is the town end, I suppose, or the dressing room end here of St. Conleth's Park. So Down are the ones that are building here from the back, taking it to Kildare and crossing the 65 with a pull in the jersey there of Orla Duffy, and looking to get forward. Kieran Groom calling it back then for that pull of the jersey in the early start for Down here to get moving here and just get settled. I was arriving into the ground just as the Down bus was at around 1:45. And another free coming here now as Down look to get that shot off there with Leisha Duffy, but Kieran Groom had spotted another foul, and it's a little bit easier right in front of the goals, Tommy, about 20 metres out, and this should be a way to settle down into the game here.
Yeah, it's a good start for Down there straight away, getting on the attack. You can see Kildare gone a bit more defensive. They've left 4 up front, kind of a diamond kind of shape, where Down are getting a lot more attack and a lot more joy off that. Their wing backs are going to be really bombing up forward.
So just a minute gone here, and this should be, it's off the upright and gone out to the left and wide, and that is a missed opportunity there for full forward Natasha Ferris.
Yeah, and you'd be expecting Natasha, with her experience and her prowess around the goal, to be scoring one of them. So Kildare can count themselves lucky.
Yeah, so short kick out being taken by Kildare as they try to utilise it here now, with Grace Clifford trying to get on the ball. She's been urged to go backwards with it, and she does, giving it to Claire Sullivan. Claire then hearing from Trina Duggan, it's all the way back to the goalkeeper, the debutant Anna Dunleave from the Raheens Club, and that's a decent ball out, but the Down player read it over on the far side, and Down looking now come on the attack here with wing back Alice McAlee looking to give it off here. She looks like she's been well tackled there by Duggan, and that looks like it's going to be a foul there, and it is a good turnover now. Kildare have a chance to break very, very quickly, and showing for it now As Nasa Dooley's making a move, and also making a move is Holly Tyrrell, but the ball still looking to come from the middle of the field, and it's Roisin Byrne back in a Kildare jersey, and many people welcome and glad to see that as she offloads the ball here to Hazel McLaughlin, the Eastham player looking to get inside, but she was well tackled there. Down looking to get it out here now, but Holly Tyrrell is in there. Another debutant in the team wins that ball well ahead of her marker Amy Green. Ball is out to the middle here now. Shot looking maybe for Aoife Rattigan. Looks to turn in on her left and her right, and eventually hand passes the ball over here to the boot of Roisin Byrne, knocking the ball in. It could be dangerous. The keeper's come a long way out there. The ball is breaking. She's still lost. It looked like she touched it on the ground, I thought, Kate McKay, and it's going to be an opportunity here for a 20 metre, 30 metre free. Is it 30 metre free, I'd say, right in front of the goals. I think Kate just lost her bearings there for a minute, did she?
Yeah, a small bit, yeah. She came out fairly far off her line and coming up against Nessa Dooley, who's probably one of Kildare's better forwards as well, so there's a lot of danger there. The referee's going into his umpires there to check what's happening.
I'm wondering, is there something bigger than this? Is this a technical foul? That's a penalty. I was thinking that. She touched the ball on the ground. That's what I was just waiting to see, and he's just confirming that maybe. So it is a penalty.
Yeah, there's a bit of danger there when you're coming up against Nessa, like I said. Interesting tactics there being deployed by Kildare with a long high ball going in from Roisin Byrne into Nessa Dooley, so maybe we might see a bit more of that in the future.
Right, well, we do know, as Dan Hoare said before the game, that Kildare don't have a great home record, especially in St. Conleth's Park. Here's a chance maybe to put that to bed a little bit. Nessa Dooley putting the ball to the right and wide, and there's two easy chances at both ends, you'd feel, Tommy, and neither have been taken.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Like I said, the two forward lines are very, very strong, but unfortunately at the moment they don't seem to be firing right at all. You'd be expecting somebody of Nessa's quality to be scoring that.
Nessa Dooley putting it then to the right and wide, and Kate McKay, she was stuck to the ground. That ball was in the back of the net, she wasn't stopping it, but it went out to the right and wide. So two wides both sides, but probably a bigger deflection for Kildare, but Kildare have turned that ball over very, very well to try and counter that now, with Grace Clifford going backwards with it here to her midfield partner Rattigan, giving it back to her. Clifford on the 45 throws it inside here to McLaughlin to Rattigan going to have a shot. That's a great score. Aoife Rattigan, three players involved. She started it and finished it.
Yeah, it was an excellent score. Great turnover at the start of that. I think it was Grace Clifford who got the turnover there at the start and got the free. In fairness, Aoife Rattigan took that unbelievably well.
Aoife Rattigan got 126 across the league and championship last year, so she knows where the posts are, and playing in midfield in this Diana Hora team. And Kate McKay, just think a little bit on nerves at the moment, making a couple of decisions there, not sure where to kick the ball out from and everything, and maybe nervous playing a part out there as the ball breaks off the down player. Looked like a push in the back, and the referee giving the free out to Down. So a point to no score. Kildare finally getting off the board after a missed penalty as Down moved the ball over on the far side. Leisha Duffy looking to step inside, possibly an opportunity. Amy O'Higgins is there as well, maybe looking for it. Clara Mulvena, but it's Down holding on to the ball. Their captain looking to steal forward there, Megan Doherty, but the ball has gone further ahead of her, and maybe it should have been recycled out here to her, and the ball has got away from Down, and that's a bit of a loose kick, but it might work out. No, it hasn't, and it's the aforementioned Doherty looking to get in there and win that ball. And of course, she captained last year, second year then in the captaincy role. Made her debut for Down in 2014 with her left foot, plays it infield into midfielder Aoife Lafferty. Lafferty giving that ball off, but the referee said that there was overplay the ball there. The Down crowd now
very harsh I would say, Killian, in terms of that. She just gone on the ball. So
5.5 minutes gone as making break here now. Hazel McLaughlin, good strong player on the ball, plays it forward now, looking for maybe a bit of movement here. Dooley getting there ahead of the her marker, who's Kira Byrne I should say, and it's Dooley on the move now, looking to step left and right. She can kick off both, but she's kicked with the left on this one, and she's pulled it to the right and wide. Chance gone a begging. Yeah,
chance gone begging there, but great interplay. Hazel McLaughlin from the Easttown Club, excellent footballer, and her fitness is really up there with the top players, so unlucky by Nessa there again.
So Kate McKay with the kick out, former captain of this Down team, kicks that ball away though to Roisin Byrne. Byrne looking to charge forward now, would love to get 1-on-1. She's still going. Byrne back on the debut, here she goes. Roisin Byrne, once she stepped inside the D, Tommy, there was only one thing in her mind.
Yeah, I think once she got the ball there was only one thing in her mind. Like I said earlier, the kickouts are going to be pivotal in this game. You can see that on both sides, well in particular the downside, they're struggling to get it out, and Roisin made a really, really good attack and run and got there in the end.
So McKay with an assist straight to Byrne. Byrne then makes a run of about 40 yards and puts the ball in the bottom corner. And again, McKay, like she did for the penalty, didn't move. But this time it ended up on the back of the net instead of wide. But Down are moving when they get beyond on the attack. So Kildare got to be careful here, not just to be open after getting that goal. Interchange of passes here now. Down looking to steal forward here. Black numbers look very, very small on the back of the Down jersey.
You can see Down trying to keep the width a bit. You can see their captain, number 6, Megan Doherty, trying to keep it width, but I suppose they're getting turned over by these kick passes at times.
Leisha Lenihan looked like she led with the arm there, all right. It was up, elbow looked to be up quite high, so free in for Down after she done some great work. Coming up on 8 minutes gone, it's Kildare with a goal and a point to no score. Down had the opening chance but missed it. Kildare had a penalty, missed it, and have subsequently settled down, I suppose, if you want to call it that, as Down looked to build from the far side. Warmer day in Kildare than it has been of late. 10 degrees coming in, but still a bit dampish, and I'd imagine the boots will be wet and socks will be sopping as well once you go in at half time here, as Megan Doherty gets on this ball. Now we'll punt the hand pass inside. Good little turn there by Emer Fitzpatrick. Shout from Clara Mulvana, gives it cross on the top of the D. Looking to force the shot was her midfield partner Aoife Lafferty, and that's gone all the way to the left and wide. Kildare plenty numbers back, Tommy.
Yeah, Down are kind of getting the ball into the 45 but not making much use of it. Kildare are getting their wing forwards back and really making havoc there, making it hard for Down to get any ball into the full forward line.
Kick out to come then from debutant Anna Dunlea from the Junior A champions in Kildare Raheen's Fame Club. Not too far away from us here, as Down turned this over, and they've done that a little bit on the Kildare kick out. Looking to get moving. Grace Clifford over there, also being helped up by Ruth Sargent, the cousins from Eadstown, linking up there. And Doherty coming looking for this ball again. That's a great ball, well spotted, top of the D, driving onto it now. Megan Doherty looking to offload this pass. Could be an opportunity here for Down to get their first score. Pulled it all the way across again, and it's not even going to go out over the end line, is it? I think it's a sideline ball, in fact, right very close to the end line flag, and going to be a Kildare ball there. Bit of a rash kick there from the Down number 11, Amy O'Higgins.
Yeah, but they're getting this possession in Kildare 45, so they just have to make use of it. They haven't really made many inroads in getting the ball into the full forward, in particular Natasha Ferris, like I mentioned earlier, the top scorer, so they really need to try to get her on the ball a bit more.
Claire O'Sullivan went and looked for that ball and got it freed, and subsequently over the interchange of passes, all a little bit tight, but eventually it's worked out here, and Kildare looking to come charging out from the back. Ball punted for, great ball into the grateful arms of Ellen Dowling. When she gets going, she can get going too and knows where the scoring posts are. Somehow gets a touch on that ball to get it on, but wasn't able to get it far enough to Roisin Byrne. It's cut out by Down, and they're looking to come out from the back with a good interchange of passes now, and Down looking to build all the way here at the moment. Alice McAlee, Orla Boyle being very, very important in that defence at the moment. Crossfield ball, decent ball out here to Niamh Scullion, the Ross Trevor player now, toe to hand and trying to get over to Kildare 45. Pops a pass. Looking for Ferris now, looking to keep moving. Ferris, who delayed her honeymoon travels and everything like that to commit to Down for this year. Leisha Duffy, top of the D, spins around. Down looking to hold it, but there's plenty of white jerseys there. Back it goes to Scullion. Scullion now has a bit of a runner and a bit of a help here from Emer Fitzpatrick. Right footed ball, heading towards those posts. Not going to come around enough though, and it's another wide for Down.
Yeah, just for Down, like I suppose they need, I said like getting Natasha Ferris on the ball, but they need her in the full forward line. If you see the Down players are looking up, but they're not getting it into, they don't have anybody to kick into.
Don't know if Anna Dunlea saw Emer Fitzpatrick there nestling in behind Claire Sullivan, but she just got enough and got it to Sullivan. And Kildare looking to build out from the back now with Sarah Munnelly, the Confi player, giving it to Lauren Burke. Kildare now just getting a little bit boxed, got to get it out of the space, and eventually looking for it. Here comes Trina Duggan, Suncroft player, looking to pop the pass to Roisin Byrne. The two players who've returned to this Kildare setup after injury. Ball is across the field, it goes out. Clifford leaves it. Gunn goes for the return on the 45, toe to hand on the right, coming across the line, then kicks with her left. Looking for her clubmate here, Hazel McLaughlin. McLaughlin just let it get away from her a little bit. Probably wasn't expecting it. And Down, giving it to their goalkeeper, Kate McKay. She's not afraid to come out, Tommy.
No, and it's kind of copying the Armagh men's goalkeeper as well, where you see a goalkeeper come out the field. It's a bit dodgy though.
Ball is eventually moved, and here McKernan up in the crowd looking for Aoife Laverty to kick that ball, but she elected to give it across the line, and it's Megan Doherty then that eventually gives it in field. That's a decent ball though, breaking onto it here. Leisha Duffy could keep going now. There's a player inside if she wanted it.
Great tackle.
She is held up there rather well, I have to say, by Leisha Lennon, but she's got away. The two Leishas coming together. Ball is popped inside. A chance for Down on the 30-metre line. Looking to spin around on the right foot, popping it up and over the bar. Good move by Down, you'd have to say, and finally getting the score.
Yeah, they probably need that for the confidence to settle them down. The kick pass was absolutely brilliant there, and lucky enough that Claire Sullivan covered back there, because I think that was a goal chance on there if she wasn't back there.
So ball over the bar for Down. So Clara Mulvena with the point then, the opening point here for Down. As Kildare looking to get on this ball, and the two captains coming together. There is a breeze out there. I do know that when we were doing the interviews it was blowing down into the town end, so from right to left. So it would be with Kildare. So maybe some of those kicks at goal for Down have been blown away by that wind. But Lauren Burke looking to make a bit of inroads. Now has the double back. Here's a shout from Ruth Sargent, who's, I have to say, going into this game for a lady that's making her debut. But of course she is playing for Eadstown, who have been county champions in Kildare. She's well accustomed to a couple of big games. Lara Curran looking to step inside. Lara, who a big year in 2022 with 3:29 on the board, offloads the ball. That's a decent shot at the post. That's over the bar. That's a phenomenal effort from distance for Kildare. And is that Rattigan again stepping up with that one?
Yeah, Aoife is an unbelievable I suppose kick taker. Every time she gets on the ball she's a bit of danger there at the moment, so just another kick out that's going short. It's interesting to see how they're employing their tactics here, their kick out tactics.
Yeah.
Down.
Kate McKay hanging out around there at the moment, so of course we've got to get used to goalkeepers now, as the position that they play, it doesn't really matter. They don't have to stand between those uprights too often anymore.
There's a serious danger there though. If Kildare get a good press on, they could get a turnover, and really if she's off her line they could concede a goal very, very easily, like we've seen Ocean Burn.
Doherty, a strong player, gets it out here, and on the move here now Leisha Duffy. Carrie Duff and Breeda players linking up as the two number 12s go toe to toe. That's tackle. A good rob and interception there by Lauren Burke, really growing into this game now, giving it to Clifford. Clifford outside the right, trying to get it forward here. That's a good turning in play, and well done Holly Tyrrell. They're a coffee player now, driving on. And belying the fact that she's a debutant here, but Kildare not having enough forward, that ball was kicked away, and it's a chance for Down now to build here. Aoife Lafferty throwing the ball infield. Down with her full-back Ciara Byrne, the vice captain from Saville. Comes across, down on the halfway line, and even though they're 1-2 to a point behind, don't be showing any nerve or anything like that they won't work their way back into this game. Well, the number 10, Niamh Scullion, playing it across the line. Kildare with lots of numbers back now. Down happy to hold on to the ball. And eventually it's worked to the far side of the field, and maybe trying to see can they penetrate on that side. Duffy offloading the ball here now. Down, it's going to keep their eyes on it. An opportunity here maybe for Mulvena to move it across then. Niamh Scullion looking to track forward. Clifford keeping her off on her right, but she pops in on the left, and there's still a chance here. Ball is thrown forward there by Emer Fitzpatrick, but the down player going down in that ball, and it was kicked away by Leisha Lenihan. No messing around with Leisha Lenihan, but it's going to be a free in that Down will take.
Yeah, Down were very, very patient there. Kildare getting a lot back, but actually not getting a lot of contact on the ball. So they're leaving a few spots there for Down to penetrate, in particular if they cross-field the ball. So it's interesting to see how Down are going to approach this. They've like I said, a very good full forward in their line. They just need to get the ball into her. Score.
Shot coming across, and it's up and over the bar there by their full forward. Natasha Ferris knows where the posts are. Coming here after 17 minutes of play. It's 1-2-2. So just that Roisin Byrne goal as Anna Dunlea pops the pass. Good kick out over the far side. Taken by Lara Curran, popping it forward now towards Nasa Dooley. Spins out onto her right hand side, looking to spin back in. Giving it back to Curran. Back inside now, they're linking up well. Crossfield ball by Dooley, might work out here. There's three Kildare players there. Charging forward McLaughlin, popping it inside here now to Byrne. Byrne will get in on her right foot. Going to have a shot, saved by McAuley. And over the bar by McKay.
That crossfield ball was exceptional there, unbelievable crossfield ball. I don't know who actually gave it in the end, but it really opened up the defence there. I think it was Nessa Dooley actually who gave it. Really opened up the defence, and you can see Hazel McLaughlin keeping her width. Very, very important for that attacking prowess.
So 17.5 minutes gone. I was trying to say Kay was getting the block on that, but it was the shot coming in. It was probably straight at her, but she just did enough to force it away from the nets and over the bar, and it's down as a point. We'll credit it to Roisin Byrne. Looks like there's an injury. Blood sub is Kieran Groom is suggesting. So looking to get the movement here as the physio tends to the down players. They're allowed to bring on the blood sub. Kieran Groom waiting for them to do that. Trying to see who it'll be coming out the down bench, but that chance anyway pushes Kildare on to 1-3, and Roisin Byrne returning as a goal and a point to her name. And it looks like Aoife Keown is coming in. Yeah, Aoife. Former dual player, would have played camogie with Down as well, and in recent events for them, but she's lined out with both, but this year just committing to the football. And a well-experienced player for Castlewellan and Down. Aoife Keown then taking this ball and popping the pass, looking for a bit of movement here now, and she's going, looking anxious to get involved. Aoife and urging on Aoife Lafferty, the other Aoife, to keep moving. Lafferty pops the ball inside. Here's a good move from Down now. They've got to be careful here. Kildare Scullion looking to spin around. Did she overstep it? Referees reckon though the hands might have been pulled there, and it's going to be a free in for Down. And that would be the only issue I'd have, Tommy, that Kildare defence can be a bit panicky when Down get on the move there.
Yeah, like I said earlier, they're getting a lot back, but Down are really penetrating at times. The people who are getting back need to get their feet set and get ready for the tackle, because Down are really, really going forward with the ball at pace, and it's causing Kildare problems even though they have all the players back.
So Natasha Ferris then with another score there, and it's back to that goal difference then. It came from Roisin Byrne. Trina Duggan going looking for that ball, but Anna Dunlea looking to go long possibly. Bit of a gap there, Tommy, in the middle of the field at the moment. A lot of players withdrawn.
Yeah, they're pushing down the field a bit more for the kickouts. It's interesting to see. But
well, especially with the wind behind them. And Anna Dunlea is a long kick out.
Yeah, in fairness to Anna, she has a long kick out, but every short kick out has found her players, so she's been very, very, very productive in her kick out. So it's been interesting to see for a debutante. She looks very calm, cool and collected.
Roisin Byrne causing Orla Duffy all sorts of problems, giving it off here to Dooley. Dooley out to McLaughlin, pass inside. Dooley then probably should have slalomed right, went left, and has to make it a bit harder on herself now to pirouette around here and get this ball back out. Aoife Keown nearly got her hand to it, but it's Aoife Rattigan. Lots of Aoifes on the field now. That's a decent ball inside. Dooley popping the ball across. Opportunity here now to get inside, but the goalkeeper did just about enough. I think took Ellen Dowling's head nearly off her top of her head, but well, it threw her off anyway, and the ball is with Down. Yeah, excellent by Kate there to come out and really close down the opportunity. That was a goal chance. Usually Ellen would be probably take them 9 times out of 10, so excellent goalkeeping. Aoife Keown then on that ball. She's the blood sub, getting ready to come back in. It looks like Clara Mulvena is, and Keown will be off the field, but she's on the ball. She's anxious to be on the ball, I'd say, and anxious maybe to get back on this field of play as quickly as possible. But she looks like she overplayed that ball, and I think the blood sub about to be replaced then. Just waiting for that. Kildare were anxious to get the ball moving there, and so Mulvena is back on. Down will be happy enough, I'd imagine, with coming down here with the breeze into their face as they kick into the Kilcullen end. Grace Clifford playing a lovely ball to Rattigan, her midfield partner Trina Duggan on the overlap, looking to pop it off now. Right foot takes it in well, playing a ball right footed. Oh, lovely ball inside now, controlled by Ellen Dowling. The two Suncroft players linking up well, comes inside the D over the 20 metre. Oh, that's surely a push. No foul, says the referee. Play to keep going there. Oh, clear as day, I thought. Played away on the ground, and Down looking to get out with it. Breaking away now, and Doherty leading the charge right up the middle. The captain for the last 2 years, being met by Clifford and Rattigan, has to go backwards, giving it off here now. 1-3 to 3, 21.5 minutes gone. It's the Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 3 Round 1 encounter between Kildare and Down. Down now happy enough with where I suppose they are at the moment. That goal from Roisin Byrne after 7 minutes, the difference between the sides as Mulvenna plays the ball backwards and eventually it's worked across here to Niamh Scullion. Been quiet enough in the last couple of minutes, the Ross Trevor player, but looking to step inside. Looked like she was being fouled, but could have went either way, I thought, there with Ruth Sargent. Ball is played inside, but it's well played there. Leisha Lenihan reading that well, the vice captain, and giving it to her captain, Grace Clifford. Clifford giving it to Radigan. Radigan right foot, big booming right foot now. In over the head of Roisin Byrne, but it's just gone away. And charging out there is the down corner back, Orla Boyle, looking to come out with this ball. Vinci down, work with it. Over the far side, and good interlinking play, I have to say, from the down players as the charge forward. A group, of course, that have been thereabouts in the league in recent times as well. Probably let themselves down a little bit. The intermediate championship, they dropped to junior, and probably will be one of the favourites to win that title this year as they eventually work on this ball now. With Duffy giving it off. Good talking out there with the down players as Alice McAlee gets it and pops it back here to Amy Green, to the Connacht player now, looking around. And she has to go backwards with it, such as the white wall that's in front. Gives it to Megan Doherty. Lets it get away from her though, and gives time to Roisin Byrne maybe to cut off her angle, and that forces her back here now to Boyle.
You can see the Kildare tactics really here, getting a lot of bodies back. I think they've only one in the full forward, or one in the down half at the moment, so you can see that Down have a lot of possession here. Kildare dropping a lot back, so it's interesting to see that kind of tactic being in play.
Interesting tactic though, Tommy, with the conditions behind them, you know.
Yeah, with the breeze with them, I thought Kildare would push out and try and put pressure on Down at times, but at the moment they're not.
Yeah, letting Down come on them as Duffy gets on this ball, plays it into the middle. Mulvenna, nice little pop pass, and it gets away with it. Opportunity there, maybe Leisha Duffy trying to get on it, but Kildare are there, numbers. Lenihan is there and winning that ball, helped out by Sarah Munley, and eventually Kildare now have a chance to break. Radigan now again, looking to pop a pass, plays it right footed, inside it goes. Roisin Byrne looking to get there, gets a touch on it, hits the deck and eventually gets up and trying to get away. Doherty holds her up illegally, could play the ball quickly, she does, allow the advantage, and here's a chance out for Lara Kern to break inside. Kern looking to step back on her left foot, pops the ball up good and high, be a good score for Kildare to get. It looks like it's gone over the bar. That is a good score. After all that down possession, 3 kicks and it's over the bar.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the breakaway there. But Roisin Byrne made an unbelievable play there to get the ball and keep it in, get it free for it anyway. She's been excellent there so far. With a goal and a point, I think, so far.
Yeah, so
Kildare really missed that probably last year as well. Sorry, Killian. Kildare probably missed that a lot last year with Roisin Byrne gone away and being injured for the last while. Yeah. She's a real important player. Here she is again. Yeah, her movement is something else. Oh, lovely little flick up to herself there by Roisin Byrne, and then commentators curse, she drops it, but ball is still worked with Dowling. Back it goes now again further here. Kildare looking to be careful with the build-up this time. Maybe need to keep possession down here for a little bit of time, Tommy, as coming forward with it here is Claire Sullivan, the Carberry player, popping it to Radigan. Radigan being urged by Grace Clifford where to play it, and she comes all the way across field here to Trina Duggan. Duggan taking it into her grass now, looking to play it forward with the hand, gives it to McLaughlin, might go for the overlap, no, elects to come out of it, and then gives it to Tyrrell back to Duggan. Duggan still elements in on her left hand side, looking to get away from Sarah Doherty. Doherty holding her up, popping the pass here now to Tyrrell. Overplay, was it? No, the referee says there was a pull there, I think, on Trina Duggan, so it's going to be a free in for Kildare. And linesman marking it here on this side, coming towards the half-time break now. Kildare probably feel it could need another couple of scores here, I feel, as trying to get forward with it now is Ruth Sargent. Sargent popping the pass here, charging on, coming into this as Munley, dropping it in straight into the keeper's hands though, Kate McKay. McKay straight away giving the pass off, out to the middle it goes. Doherty, top of the D, loses it, under pressure now from Hazel McLaughlin, and referee says that was a foul. Doherty being urged to switch it here now as the play continues to move. And Grace Clifford got a hand there on that ball as she tried to play it forward, Alice McAlee, but Alice McAlee, lovely tackle. The combination of the Easttown players there, Hazel McLaughlin, I don't think she was keeping her eye on Grace Clifford, and Hazel came in and slipped that ball away. Wrong ball, unfortunately for me, for Radigan. If she had gone right, Ellen Dowling had that,
Strong play by Kate McKay. Comes out with this ball. Of course, former captain and corner forward with this down team. Ball is left behind Doherty though. Under a bit of pressure from Lara Curran. Doherty holds the hand off. Looking to get forward. Thought she was foul. Still going Doherty. Out into open space a little bit, but it's going to be won there by Ruth Sargent. Sargent, here's a shout there from Lauren Burke. Burke coming forward. Good strong run from the corner back. Giving it off here now to Duggan. Duggan looking to step inside on her right foot. Coming away with it. Holding around it. I should say Claire Sullivan. Back it goes now into the hands here of Ellen Dowling. Dowling hearing a shout from Radigan. Top of the D. Radigan with the shot. It's up and over the bar. That's a great score from Kildare. Another patient one. But credit Lauren Burke there, Tommy, how she broke forward.
Yeah, she was excellent there. That pace that what Kildare has probably been lacking in the first half. But again, Aoife Radigan, her kicking for scores has been excellent so far. I think that's two or three she's after scoring, so it's been excellent.
Blood sub there now for Kildare.
Lara Curran, I think, going off there.
Have to say, great run by Lauren Burke, was heavily involved in that there, along with Claire Sullivan. And eventually the ball put over the bar for Kildare. Kildare making a blood sub.
Roisin forward from Maynooth there.
Yeah.
I think she's a dual player as well.
She's jewellery, I think, is the issue. That Kieran Grumman is right, like, they should know. I think she was keeping her steps, I think, was she?
Yeah. Here's the pressure again.
Oh yeah, the kick out is worked out there. Dowling looking to get it inside. Byrne looking to pirouette left or right. She goes on her left, forcing this ball in. It's gone up and over the bar. Score from Roisin Byrne. It's very, very close to that angle. Tommy could have dropped in.
Yeah, very, very close to getting a goal there. But I suppose, like I said earlier, the kick-out plan has been good and bad for Down. At times they're getting the ball turned over, which is leading to themselves getting into awful trouble altogether.
2 points in quick succession though for Kildare, and it gives them a little bit of a gap now. 6 points, and here to go again now, looking to get forward on it here. Mullany giving the ball to Ratigan. Ratigan looking to step inside, might be looking to open a sizable gap here now on Down just before the half-time break. The Blood Sub playing it forward there. Oh, that's a lovely little ball inside to Nasa Dooley, spins it over the bar. What a ball played in though by Roisin forward.
Yeah, again, like I said, the kick-outs are causing Down problems here in the last few minutes. Roisin forward coming in as a Blood Sub. Great ball into Nessa Dooley, and Nessa turns and scores it. Like I said, a player of Nessa's quality is not going to pass up a few opportunities. Yeah, she missed a few in the start, but she's really
Kildare's last 3 scores, Tommy, have come from Down not being able to get out beyond the Kildare 65. So the press is on here high at the moment now, trying to maybe seek to get another one. But Ellen Dowling just a little bit high there on Megan Doherty, and Doherty's going to buy a little bit of time, I'd imagine, just to get to the half-time break.
Yeah, Kildare have kind of changed their tactics and changed their tune altogether, where they're pressing on that kick out where they're seeing a weak point, I suppose, and that wind where they're decided to really push forward and press.
Yeah, well, it's now a 7-point lead. It was only 3 at one stage, but 1-7-3 is Down looking to come forward, and Down haven't played that bad at all. As this ball played forward here and taken well by Sarah Doherty. Doherty looking to get inside. Hazel McLaughlin has been held up there though by the Eadstown player looking to skip inside. The Bryansford player 2-4 in last year's league and championship. Back out it comes to Alice McAleen, the drum player, looking to get away from the attentions of Ratigan there, who looked like she was fouling her. Pull of the jersey, another pull of the jersey there in Mulvenna. Plays the ball forward Mulvenna, but it's out over the line. Going to be a sideline ball. I think the referee could have given Down a couple of frees there.
Yeah, very harsh on Clara there. She was probably getting fouled. Her jersey's been pulled. But look, Kildare will be happy out. They're getting kind of on top here for the last few minutes and pushing out an advantage. They probably need that advantage as well going into the second half. That breeze is after picking up a small bit. You can see on the flags in Connaughton Park. So, yeah, Kildare need to push on.
Lara Curran, I think, about ready to get back in here. But I wonder, will they maybe just keep it until the half-time break? Interesting to see. As Roisin Ford is on this ball now, set up a lovely point for Nasa Dooley minutes ago, popping the right foot ball forward. Roisin Byrne gets a touch on that, giving it forward here now to Hazel McLaughlin. Looking inside is Tyrrell. It's McLaughlin looking to spin out forward, or Tyrrell to Byrne. Byrne is going to go for this. Right foot drops it high, but it looks like he's going to tail out to the right and wide. She has that in her armoury and she fancied it.
Yeah, she fancied it. Yeah, look from distance. Yeah, Roisin Ford. She's really after getting into this game, so it's harsh enough that she has to come back off after the Blood Sub, because she's been excellent since she came in. 2 ball possessions, I think, and two scoring chances, one to score and one wide. But yeah, she'll feel hard done by there. Yeah,
Roisin, I'm sure we'll be hoping to see a bit of game time, as that should have been a throw ball there, I thought. Kick out. But ball has been won back here, and Ratigan playing the ball inside now. Kay is going to come out and win this though, but you know she's no field player. She's no fear in the ball is coming in around the house there at all. Out to win it there. some goalkeepers might retreat, but she's coming out and winning, and that's been a factor in a couple of long balls Kildare played forward, Tommy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they conceded a penalty from it, but in particular, she stopped Ellen Dowling from scoring a goal. But she's really improving as the game goes on, I think.
On the ball now is down corner forward, Emer Fitzpatrick. Doherty's looking for this, but elect to go to Alice McAlee. Roisin Byrne coming up high on her there, but she gets the ball off. And down with Niamh Scullion over on that side now. Looking to play, maybe find a little bit of purpose on that wing, because they've been curtailed a lot in the last couple of minutes, but on the edge of the D, they're going to get a free and a chance maybe to get some other score on the board before the half-time whistle.
Yeah, Kildare decided not to press on that kick out. I don't know why. They kind of retreated back again, or not to press there in the middle of the field, and they retreated back again, and you can see the damage that Down are actually doing from that. That tactic isn't really working as much.
Paris having the shot at the goals, and she's got her eye in, and that's the last score then of this half. Down put a little bit more gloss then on that board, but they hadn't scored since the 19th minute, and Kildare have rattled off a number of points in that time. Tommy, 4 on the bounce, 3 in about 90 seconds. They put on a serious press there just before the break, and that's obviously been the telling point here now that they lead by 6 points.
Yeah, Kildare needed that press on with that breeze they had. They kind of got a press and a down kick out, and Kate McKay was under pressure there for a long period of time and Down as an overall, where Kildare are really making hay there. But I suppose that last score was very, very important for Down to go in with at least a point on the board in the last 10 minutes, because they'll need that coming into the second half. Again, that kick-out strategy probably has to get better for Down to really improve and push on from this game.
Yeah, and you just would feel that, you know, Kildare probably played within themselves a little bit. That when, you know, that spell there that they had for about 2 minutes, it definitely shows that they have a forward that there's so much movement. They should be getting more ball to them, you'd feel.
Yeah, like the likes of Roisin Byrne and Nessa Dooley really made hay there. And even one that I'd like to mention that probably doesn't get a lot of talk there, Hazel McLaughlin has been really impressive in this half as well, where they probably need to get them on the ball. They're in form, and they really get the scores in. And on the opposite side, I suppose, you're looking at Down and you're saying where the score's coming from. Natasha Ferris has probably been spotted too far out the field for me, where you probably need her in the full forward line, being the focal point of the attack there, along with Emer Fitzpatrick and Sarah Doherty there. I think they need to stay in a bit deeper here. You might see that in the second half, in particular with the bit of a breeze. You might see a few longer balls going in. You can hear it, even in the stands, that the Down management are encouraging to get kick passes in. So look, it's been interesting so far, but I suppose I don't know who would be happier. Kildare probably should have more on the board, but and Down are probably chasing their tails a small bit with the kick out. So yeah, it's all to play for still here. It's even though the score doesn't reflect that, but with that breeze, you never know what could happen. Yeah,
never know what could happen. So 1-7-4 then here at half time. In the other games, Clare, they're off to a good start. They lead Sligo 2-4 to 2 points. It's Louth who lead Longford by 1-2 to 3, and Wexford and Offaly, they're playing out a right game at the moment. It's Wexford 2-8, Offaly 2-3, that game in Enniscorthy. So that's the latest there in the games that are taking place in Division 3. The latest from Division 1 then is Cork lead Mayo by 1-8 to 7. Kerry lead Waterford by 1-7 to 1-3. That's Division 1. Division 2 games taking place. We see Laois lead Monaghan by 2-7 to 1-3. Armagh lead Cavan by 6 points to 3. It's Westmeath leading Tipperary 1-6 to 7, and Roscommon and Tyrone low scoring enough there, but the latest we have 2 points to no score. And in Division 4, just some games being played out there in Division 4B, just not coming up to me there at the moment, but we will hopefully be able to get you scores on that later on. But Division 3 at the moment, it is Kildare that lead by 1-7-4. Sligo have just got an opportunity of a goal there. I think I might have given you the wrong score. It's been updated now a little bit differently, so we'll just have to maybe verify that it has Sligo in front, so I might just check on that score. But Kildare anyway for the moment here lead by 1-7-4 points at half time. Andrew, welcome back here to St. Conleth's Park in Newbridge for the second half of the Little Ladies National Football League Division 3 Round 1 encounter at between Kildare and Down, 1-7-4 at half time. And just to let you know, it is Clare that are leading that game. The scoreboard had just changed online a couple of times, so it is 1-7. It is Clare who leads Sligo at half time. We'll bring you all the full times hopefully at the end as we get ready for Kieran Groom. Yeah, so Kildare have made those changes. It looks like Roisin Ford is in for Ellen Dowling and Ciara Price is in for Holly Tyrrell. But Down have won both throw balls at the start of either half, but well, the first one they nearly got in for a shot, but that one was cut off rather well by a combination of Leisha Lenihan and Sarah Munley. And eventually it's Grace Clifford who comes forward. So Kildare playing into the Kilcullen end off to her right. It's got a little bit duller here, so it's someone turn on the lights there possibly, as Kildare definitely are fouled there.
Roisin made a massive impact in the first half, Killian, so it'll be interesting to see how she gets on in the second half when she came on as a blood sub in the first half.
Yeah, different conditions though, as this ball by Munley has a bit of snow on it as she tries to find Roisin Ford, I should say. Ford now looking to play a shot at this. Is it going to curl around enough? It isn't. But definitely a lady come on for a couple of minutes, Tommy, in the blood sub. She made a huge impact and she's already trying to make an effort here.
Yeah, she was trying to make a big impact here with that, with a kind of I suppose a shot selection which was a bit mad, but yeah, she's an extremely good footballer from Maynooth, and yeah, look, she's looking to try and make a stamp on this game.
So Kildare on the ball, McLaughlin popping the ball inside. That looked like a bit of a rugby pass, but it worked out with the hand with Rattigan to Clifford. Back to Rattigan. Rattigan then throwing it inside to Roisin Byrne. Had to do a bit of work to get it, but she's on her left foot, forcing the ball off the upright, bouncing in and out of play eventually. Chance kind of big in there for Kildare, and they've started strong at the start of the second half, Tommy.
Yeah, they really have, putting the press on the kick out, like I said, at half time, that they probably needed to do. But unlucky for Roisin, she'd be expecting herself to score that one, I'd say.
Kick would come from Down then. And it is Kate McKay, of course, as we said, former captain and corner forward, back with the Down set up, and she's taken the number 1 shirt, and she's probably done okay. Saw a penalty go past her post all right and conceded a goal, but other than that, she stopped a couple of Kildare attacks, but Kildare have turned this ball over in the middle, and Down 1 or 2 now look to be suffering a little bit out there. Kildare coming strong. Ball is into the middle now and it could work out. Nasa Dooley's in there, but it went behind her a little bit. She might be able to pop it up on her right. Dooley forces it up high. It's going to drop though. Kate McKay lets it over her head and it's out for a 45. And a bit of messy play there, but it's worked out here with a chance for Kildare.
Yeah, if that ball went to hand, I'd say Nessa Dooley would have been confident enough to get a goal there. I think Roisin Byrne tried to give her the pass, it just went behind her a small bit, or there was a miscommunication by Nessa Dooley and I think the new girl, Ciara Price. But yeah, Kildare are starting really, really strong here, and we'll see how they go if they can continue on at this vein.
So Kildare, as we know, have 2 games at home. They play Longford next week and hoping to get the points on the board here to set them up well. So it's Trina Duggan fancying her chances at this, popping a nice little ball inside. Would have been a lovely mark if there was in this game, as Dooley has a shot tight to that upright, but it's gone to the right and wide. The crowd up in the stand thought it was over the bar, but no question about it. So a couple of quick wides for Kildare, Tommy. It's a good start, but they need to be taking 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah, Nessa will be unfortunate with that one. Great catch by Trina Duggan's 45 there now. Great set play. I think they've only been working on that one.
The ball played forward, goes over the head of everyone, and Sarah Munley's making the run back to try and get the touch on it. Kicked it back, lost control of it, and Down have turned it over. A chance out to come forward here with them. Doherty popping the ball in field now, looking to get away. Alicia Lenihan, the vice captain, looking to get back there, and she does very, very well. Gets out in front of Emer Fitzpatrick and is looking to drive out. Giving it here to Lara Curran, stepping inside the tackle from Fitzpatrick, and crossfield ball, not expecting a Trina Duggan, but she gets back to make up the ground. Throws a ball inside then to Sarah Munley. Munley in field again. It goes to Lauren Burke. Burke to Clifford. Clifford pirouettes away from about 3 Down players. Gives it to Sullivan. Sullivan in field. Rattigan's got to be careful. One-handed goes up fairly nonchalantly. Looked like she was crashed into the back there, but Kieran Groom lets the play go on. Allows it to develop. Clifford holding on to it, giving it to Sullivan and Duggan there, and giving it back now to Clifford. Clifford might come back further here. It does to Munley. Now looking for this Claire Sullivan over on this side. The long sleeves of Trina and Claire are catching me out a little bit when they both get on the ball. As Roisin Byrne, I should say, is the one who eventually gets the free there. Roisin won't take it quickly, but Clara Mulvena using some of her experience holding her up as Down want to make a substitution. But, 1-7 remains, no change since the start of this second half. Roisin Byrne playing it across to Sarah Munley, with the referee not happy with whatever's going on here. Down looking to make changes, and he was waiting for those changes to happen when Kildare took the free. So Down going to make looks like a plethora of subs here now in a minute. Down below us it looks like Aisling Cull and Jessica Foy. But come on, Foy was a top scorer for Down lots of ways last year. 316 she got in the 2022 campaign. Ball here now with Claire Sullivan, the Carberry player, back to Clifford. Down now back in numbers, as you can see. As playing it forward there now is Sarah Munley. Munley giving it to Byrne. Byrne with the shot up and over the bar. Roisin Byrne. Definitely Tommy announcing her return.
Yeah, great patience by Kildare there. I think it was Aoife Radican on the ball, or Kern passing around, waiting for their gaps to appear, and really Roisin can't be given the space or time like that. Yeah, interesting enough now. I suppose there's a few changes here, particularly Jessica Foy, like you mentioned there previously. She's been excellent last year, by all accounts, in league and championship, with her very, very high scoring there, 316 you said. So it's going to be interesting to see if she can make a difference and really put Kildare to the pin in their collar.
Yeah, so 17, 20 and 23 are on for Down. Aisling Cull, Emily Martin and Jessica Foy. And I think it's Amy O'Higgins and Emer Fitzpatrick are definitely two of the players that have come off. Just missed the third one there. Fortunately, no announcement of who the subs are here, but 1-8-4, Hazel McLaughlin coming on to a crash ball there. And, well, as we know, I saw last night, Tommy, in the live match on TG Carr. Again, it's a rule in ladies football. It probably needs a bit of clarity. That whole element of coming forward, who's charging, a defender put up a block. It's a rule probably needs to be clarified a little bit. Yeah,
a small bit. Like like you said last night, I seen one or two. In particular, Stacey Grimes actually went for a ball last night for Meath, and similar enough kind of circumstance with that, but it was actually a free out. So yeah, probably has to be clarified a bit more. And in particular, Vicky Wall actually got done with it last year a lot in the Leinster final and All-Ireland final a few times. So yeah,
something definitely that has to be visited, I think, in Congress. 1-9-4, the ball was kicked out. It was won by Down, and they fell onto it. Kildare fouling them illegally. Lara Curran is the one that's judged to have fouled there, as Niamh Scullion gave that ball. Looked like foul committed there, but the play is allowed to continue. Down looking to build on it and looking to get in and try and win that, and that's good play there. You'd have to say Lauren Burke is having a fine game for Kildare. Cornerback gets in and wins that ball. She probably didn't deserve to win it. Here's Roisin Ford now. A lot of running now with the Maynooth lady, looking to get forward. Fly kick might work out though, all the same. Byrne looking to get there. Roisin gets out in front, using her strength there now, holding the ball off. Kildare looking to come on the attack now, popping it back out, holding on to it. Radigan, we know, has a big booming kick on her, but goes back to Munley. Confi and Kappa linking up, and she's still going. Munley up and up in front of her. She's still going. Munley could get in, and then eventually loses control of the ball, and a definite foul on the Down player who's going down it. Sarah Munley probably just needed someone coming off her shoulder looking for a shout there. Yeah, probably needed a forward just to loop around back behind her and get an easy score there. But it was a great run in the end. But if a loop came, they probably would have got an easy score. Kildare are really, really putting a press on here. They could be up by possibly 5 or 6 points more, to be honest, with the few chances that they've had. So yeah, Down really putting in a few subs, trying to change stuff. So we'll see what they can do. Yeah, Down making the substitution. Aoife Keown is in, and it looks like Clara Mulvena is the one that's off. So Aoife replaced her as a blood sub in the first half, and now it's a permanent sub as Kildare turned that over. Claire Sullivan might be wearing number 4. She likes to get forward, Tommy, and has been involved in a couple of moves. Yeah, she's been excellent so far, in fairness. She's very, very good defensively, but also coming up the wing there, she's been very, very good in the ball, and really putting something different to the Down defence. Linking up with Clifford. Clifford gets a return pass to Kildare captain. Looking to spin around now and throws the ball to Lara Curran. Back it goes to Sullivan. Sullivan could give it here to Munley. Munley looking to pop a pass, but the down player has read it. But it might work out. Trina Duggan just the way it broke. Trina maybe using some of her experience, just held off and waited for the break. Radigan, Duggan goes on to charge now, looking to get inside. Another player's return from play. It's the two linking up now. Byrne and Duggan giving the ball off here. Chance for Radigan. Radigan's in a bit of traffic, has to go backwards with it. Give it to Munley. Sullivan looking for it, but she goes in field and gives it to Ford. Ford pops the pass on now. Byrne looking to spin, looking to give it maybe inside again to Ford. Ford's a strong runner. She'll stay going, popping it towards that far corner, but it's the keeper that comes out and wins it. And maybe rushing forward, Tommy probably could have kept running there.
Yeah, a bit more time and space. I think she needs to be communicated to a bit more, where she wanted to take the shot straight away, where she probably had a 5 or 6 more steps in her to really cement that over the bar and really give it a good lash, I suppose.
Down now looking to come forward. Really strong opening 20 minutes from them. They got within a goal of Kildare 1-3, but since then have only got a point, and Kildare have just been toying with them, I suppose, a little bit, able to hold them off as they come charging forward here now. Amy Green, the Connacht player, looking to step out, giving it to Keown, but ball breaks away from her and it's in covering up. It's Grace Clifford. Clifford does the job well, as she does, minds the house. Good captain as well. Ball is with the wing back there. That's Sarah Munley. Munley to Duggan. Duggan to Byrne. Great to see the two back on the field of play after suffering fairly poor knee injuries. But they're back out here showing their strength and their importance to Kildare, as Grace Clifford shows right and then goes back. It's a dangerous enough ball, but alert to it is Munley. Being helped out there by Burke. Needs her help though. Burke then eventually giving it on here. Duggan has a shout from McLaughlin. McLaughlin very tight to that line over on the Barrack sideline, as they call it here in Newbridge. Ball is played by Burke in field. Munley. Kildare just being patient. Clifford on it goes again now. Coming out. Charging with the ball here is Lenihan. Giving it to Lara Curran. Looking to get away from two down players. Does very well, the Milltown player. Pirouettes back. Down players looking for a foul there, but didn't see anything wrong with what Lara Curran was doing. Giving it inside to Clifford. Clifford looking to get away from Aoife Keown. Pirouettes back. Then a right-footed ball. Down, got to be careful in reading this now as Hazel McLaughlin. Crash ball. The two Easttown players linking up. Coming over to 45. Popping the ball inside. And it's interchange with the Sarsfields players then. Price and Byrne. In it goes one more. Opportunity now. Shot! Back of the net. Ciara Price. She's not on long. She was waiting her chances. The interchange of passes there. Well played by Kildare. Patient enough build up. Down just... it was a bit of a knife through butter, Tommy, moment there, and then Price just 1-on-1 put it in the top corner. Yeah,
Kildare, that switch ball play by Kildare is really, really paying dividends. Like I said earlier in the first half, Hazel McLaughlin keeping her wit was excellent, but Lara Curran over here kept the ball unbelievably well. Otherwise the ball would have been turned over and down the other end of the pitch. So look, Kildare are really, really showing a dominance here. I think Sarah Munley's coming off there now.
Well, another returning player is Grania Keneally. Grania is back in the Kildare harness this year. She replaces Sarah Munley, who had a fine game. Aoife Radigan getting on this ball now. It's a decent ball inside to Dooley. Dooley slipping inside, it's keeper. Gonna have a shot. Goal for Kildare. Great ball in. And then Dooley dumped to the ground there. Don't know whether the referee will have a word, or did she fall theoretically, but
I think
he's going to go in and talk to the umpire, but that's what Dooley's good at, and you'd have to say McKay just wasn't quick enough that time.
Yeah, she's been very, very good and coming out off her line a few times, but again, the kick out is causing down serious problems. Kildare really, I suppose, pushed on in this game, and I suppose it doesn't flatter them to be this far ahead at the moment.
So there you have 2 goals then in the space of 90 seconds from Kildare, and it's definitely points now secured for them, and it's all about playing out the while and maybe run the bench down the next couple of minutes as Down look to get forward here with Orla Boyle looking to pop a pass inside, and have to say Down played very well the opening 20 minutes. Were dealing with everything Kildare were throwing at them and just have gone into themselves a little bit as they look to charge on here. There's still plenty of this half to go. Aoife Keown popping the pass. Ross Trevor's Niamh Scullion. Down have run the bench, they've run in 4 subs here now. Emily Martin has been on that ball, eventually comes out here to the middle. Aisling Cull also on the field of play, along with Jessica Foy. Keown. Right foot of ball from the Castlewellan woman, looking to play it across field. Down coming charging forward here now. Patient build up. Looking at Natasha Ferris has kicked all 4 points for down here. She's the one that wanted to get on the ball. Top scorer last year with 222. Jessica Foy at 316, but they've been curtailed an awful lot here today, Tommy. There's no question about it. Kildare defensively have done well.
Yeah, their structure is a bit, I suppose, they're a lot more defensive than they have been in other years. They're dropping their their wing forwards back and really making themselves strong. But that was a great kick pass by Aoife McKeown into Natasha Ferris.
And that first does the needful. Over the bar it goes. Good dead ball specialist. And that's only Down's 5th point.
I actually think that was Jessica Foy who kicked that. Another good ball, dead ball specialist. Yeah.
The ball getting away.
Well done.
And it was, you're right, Jessica Foy then with that point. That's why we brought you, Tommy. 3-9 to 5 points then. So Kildare, as you said, with those goals, one from substitute Ciara Price and one from Nasadouli, as Sullivan plays this ball on to Lara Curran. Curran looking to get away from the attentions of the down player. Roisin Ford now stepping inside, has been very, very busy, looking to get away from her attackers. Will fancy a score. She deserves it if it goes over. Cracking score, Roisin Ford. For all her endeavour, Tommy, deserved that.
Yeah, definitely does. She's been excellent, even in the first half, like I said about the blood sub. There, she just took on her woman, and really went forward with the ball and really took it to down.
3-10 to 5. It's a fine start then under Diana O'Hara's stewardship. Former coach, of course, of this Kildare ladies team, but well, starting off the league campaign, she did say to us before the game, Connaughts Park not a happy hunting ground for the Kildare ladies, but well, starting out today, it's not going too bad.
Yeah, they usually play a lot of their home games actually in Hawkfield, probably because of that maybe. That fact that hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Kildare. Here they are again.
Here they are again with Nasadouli trying to get forward, held up illegally there. Looks like she's picked up an injury as well. And Grace Clifford giving her a pat in the back for winning that free, but Nasadouli getting a little bit of attention. I think she was definitely a player that was marked up by the down players to keep an eye on throughout the game. I suppose when you score 11 goals and 11 points last year, you probably are going to be someone that's marked out all right.
Yeah, Kildare hoping she won't be down for long.
No, and she isn't. As Ciara Price going on a bit of a run to maybe give Roisin Byrne an option, but Roisin Byrne will fancy this with her right foot, top of the D, and she puts it up good and high, but it's I have to say it just maybe didn't have enough, but there is a sizable enough breeze there at that end. Just looking at the tricolour at the far end at the moment, blowing kind of across field, but it's coming from the Kilcullen end here to our right hand side if you're watching from down. This is the St. Connaughts Park in Newbridge for this Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 3 Round 1 encounter. And Peter Lynch and Quiva Sloan, returning management team for Down, probably will feel that Down girls have let it get away on them a little bit.
Yeah, harsh enough free there on, I think it was Gráinne Keneally. I don't know, was it for a shove in the back, but I suppose Down really need to take advantage of these. They really need to get scores on the boards for confidence in future games. At the moment it's not looking great for this game obviously, but definitely for themselves. They don't want to be shipping too much and need to get a few scores on the board. Yeah,
no question about it. There's another point over the bar there for Jessica Foy. And you wonder now with Jessica Foy why she wasn't probably starting, Tommy.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I suppose, like I said at the start, new management, well, kind of a new management at the moment, to try new players. You can see with the amount of substitutions, probably managers at this point of the season probably don't know who their best players are or what their best combinations are at the moment, because, like I said, no pre-season competition. So it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see Natasha Ferris come off. I thought she's been fairly the top scorer of the game for Down, and she's probably been Down's best attacker over the last year or two.
Yeah, Natasha Ferris has been called ashore, and also Niamh Scullion. So on the field of play are Natalie McKibben and Viv McCormick, but they're two that would have been well known to the Down setup. They're not strangers, let's say, as Kildare, well in charge now here. 3-10 to 6, 19 minutes gone in the second half, and it's trying to get on this ball. It was Claire Sullivan. Went in there and won that ball after it got away from her and won her free as well. Took a little bit of a done for herself, and she's down on the ground now at the moment. Will require the physio. as Kildare get ready to make a substitution as well. Number 25 is coming in there. That's Lara Gilbert from Kildare Nurney, another talented forward. Just waiting to see which their players is going off. But Lara looks like she's heading into a more defensive role, is she? But talented enough player has been around the Kildare setup, and it looks like she's actually going to head into defensive mode. Lauren Burke. I think, Tommy, when we're thinking of the player of the match, Lauren will be definitely worth a mention.
Yeah, definitely. For the first time that she's playing with Kildare debut, she's been absolutely excellent. Her attack and runs has been brilliant. And in fairness, Kildare probably it's kind of going to be a tough job for me to pick a Kildare woman to be one of the matches that have been fairly good at this moment in time. So again, they're keeping patient. The build-up play has been decent enough. Now commentators curse now, to be honest, but down around the attack.
Yeah, down around the attack now, turning over that ball. A bit of a loose pass from Clifford to Rattigan, and it's been turned over by Jessica Foy, and down coming looking forward, but it's there in numbers now. And have to say, Claire Sullivan's had a fine game for Kildare as well, giving it to Lara Kern, and here comes Grania Keneally, of course, veteran of many a campaign. It's a lady that's played, of course, her sport with Waterford and played dual player as well at times. Won an All-Ireland Intermediate title with Waterford before settling in Kildare in the last couple of years. Was on a tour of duty last year. I think that probably her playing with Kildare last year, but she's back on the field of play anyway, and linking up with her clubmate Grace Clifford. Clifford giving it back here now to Munley and Ruth Sargent. In fact, so all the Eton players linking up. And inside it went there to Price. Price had got that goal, giving it back here now to Rattigan. 3-10 to 6 now to Ruth Sargent. To Claire Sullivan. You'd have to feel, Tommy, as well, I suppose, for debutants coming in, probably not a bad game to make your debut when you got it done and dusted now, and you're winning them handsomely and you didn't make any errors either.
Yeah, exactly. The game probably is sewn up at this stage for Kildare, but it's been interesting. They've been, I suppose, in other years, Kildare have always trying to keep on going for goals, going for scores. They're actually keeping the ball a lot more. They've been very patient. And you can see the build-up play. Down are working extremely hard, but unfortunately for them, I think Kildare have really gotten on top of this. And like you mentioned there earlier, you're bringing on subs that have probably a lot of minor football experience with Kildare, so they're not completely strangers to county football.
Lovely interplay here. It's Lara Kern popping it over the bar, and Tommy, that was over and back, and eventually picking the pass inside. And Dooley, she mightn't be getting too many scores, but she's laying them off, and Lara Kern took that well.
Yeah, the build-up play was excellent again, holding the ball, waiting for their opportunity, like I said, slowing down the game, playing the game on their terms at the moment.
Lara Kern has been called ashore then after kicking that point. It was a good timing. And Amy Larn is on, and Amy, talented player and talented sportswoman. Amy Larn is playing rugby and I think won a soccer title in Kildare with Clonmullion, was it, I think, a few weeks ago. So busy woman on the sporting fields as Aoife Rattigan knocks that ball in and over the bar, and Kildare now just cut loose a little bit, Tommy.
Yeah, Aoife has been excellent all game though, in fairness to her. Her kicking, her point taking has been unbelievable there. I think she kicked 2 in the first half, 2 long range ones as well. But yeah, Kildare are really stretching themselves here, trying to really on top here, and Down really need to get a few scores on the board to keep themselves and confidence for themselves. I think there's another substitution for Kildare.
Yeah, so just holding up on making sure that they've all 15 on the field of play and everything, because Kildare about to make another sub. Looks like Fiona Trout from the tie about to come in. Keneally wins that ball, and then she gets I'd say her back fairly well boxed off her with the Down player there. She tried to get forward with that ball, and no question about it, is going to be talking for the Down player. So if Fiona Trout from a tie is in, and Claire Sullivan, she's definitely going to be a player to be in the running for a player of the match award too. Gets an ovation coming off. A fine game from her.
Yeah.
As Kildare played that ball in. Kern, what a ball forward. Looking to get forward. Top corner. Nearly got it just down into the bottom. In fact, popping the pass, and McKay wouldn't have got near that.
Yeah, it was an excellent ball in. Roisin has been really good. She's really staking a claim for her place the next day against Longford. And Claire Sullivan has been excellent all game, especially in the last 10-15 minutes where she got on. I think she took a few hits, so maybe that's a reason why she's coming off.
Yeah, she did. She took a fairly knock there a few minutes ago, so that might have been the reason. No point over pushing her now at this point. Is well taken there by Rattigan. Keneally Sargent, Keneally. Looking to play it forward now. Trout God fancies her chances. Charge it forward there. Pull it the jersey. Referee. I think Kieran Groom has had enough now of Jessica Foy. I think he's talked to her a couple of times at this point.
Yeah.
And looking to bring it forward. Roisin Byrne, I think for the chat there, that ball has been brought on the 45 now. Kildare in front, 3-12-6 as the evening starts to close in around us. Charging forward there, Grace Clifford might have overstepped it a little bit, then comes into that tackle, and yeah, it's going to be a free out. The down player stood the ground. Clifford is injured though from that challenge from Doherty, and two captains coming head to head.
Yeah, Doherty actually probably the bright spark for Down at the moment. She's really putting her body around the place and really putting a big effort. Unfortunately to no avail for her team, but yeah, kind of another rule like we talked about earlier, the charging rule that's probably needs to be looked at again. That's twice now in this game where we kind of had a few decisions that could have went either way with it.
Aoife Keoghan getting on the ball now, right-footed, trying to find the player inside, but it's well read there by Leisha Lennon, who seems to have a bit of a fan club here today. Every time she gets on the ball, there's a bit of a cheer goes up as the ball is played here towards Fiona Trout, a Thai player holding her own here, no question. Just come in, and have to say, Tommy, a few of the subs that have come in putting their hand up for the next day.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said there earlier, you have a look and you see that there's a lot of young people or young girls coming in here, which is brilliant to see, graduating through the ranks of the minor team. Amy Larn, like you said, Ruth Sargent, Lauren Burke, Holly Thurl, all these players, and Anna Dunley. I don't think she was on the minor team last year, but she's definitely coming up through the ranks of Kildare football, so it's been excellent.
All is lost out by Kildare and turned over 3-12-6. It is the Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 3 round 1 encounter. Tommy, with 4 minutes to go, we'll get you to start putting your head together there now, and who's going to be our player of the match. We'll hear from them at the end of this encounter as we get moving on here now with Down looking to get something else out of this game. Probably like to put a goal on the board, but Kildare, well, thou shall not pass. Ruth Sargent in there again, the Eat Sound player. I think there'll be no question about it. She'll have a jersey the next day as the ball played for Roisin Ford, giving it now to Leisha Lennon, who's well deciding maybe I don't need to keep doing my defensive duties now. We're so far ahead, trying to get forward here with Radigan. Radigan has played very, very well, the Kappa player, looking to step on now and play the ball forward. It's picked up by Nasa Dooley, spinning around left and right, come back onto her right foot, pops a pass out here to Radigan, goes over her head a little bit, but Ford is there to pick up the pieces. Looking to spin around on the 45-metre line now, plays her right foot. That's a lovely ball if it works out, but unfortunately he was cut out there as Amy Larn tried to get on that ball. Cut away from it there by Orla Boyle. It's probably been another standout point for Down here today. Ball looking to come forward now with the girls from the Moran County, with Aoife Keoghan looking to play that ball up and high and into the corner, but it's well read there by combination of Gilbert and I should say who else was back there for Kildare. Keneally is coming out with it as well, but Leisha Lennon was there as Kildare bringing in number 26. That's Mia Doherty, and also coming in Down or running the bench now. And with the dark sky, it's nearly impossible to make out the black numbers. I think it's number 26 is in. I think some of the Down minors now that are on the bench are getting an opportunity here. Yeah, that's number 26 is in Niamh King, all right, from Castlewellan. And trying to make out the other Down player that's come in. She's come back here into defensive duty. Trying to identify the number in a minute if the play comes this side of the field. Again on the ball now, Trout has Keneally if she wants. Keneally though going into a little bit of a tunnel there, and so referee judging the 26th have pushed off the ball. Just on the field of play, Niamh King.
Trout has been excellent since she's come in, actually, to be honest. She's gone on a lot of ball here.
Looking for this ball now, Amy Larn. Larn has a bit of pace on her if she goes, and she's gone there. Getting inside the number 29 for Down that's just come on. Amy Larn overstepped it though.
Unlucky.
Showing she has a bit of rugby prowess, but she has speed.
Yeah, that was excellent by Amy. She really took the sidestep there and using her pace there to get away from her woman. But like I said earlier, it's an excellent to see the few younger players coming in and really making a difference here. So they're really staking a claim for the next day for Kildare. Yeah,
Paige Smith is that number 29 that's in. Of course, would have played with Down last year, but Keneally reading that ball well over there, trying to get it away now from the Down player on that far side. As he said, Down have run the bench. Kieran Groom says that Keneally was fouled, and he's going to talk to the Down player, I think, on that. Tommy, who are you thinking of?
Yeah, I suppose on the downside you're looking at you mentioned there Orla Boyle in the cornerback, Megan Doherty and Natasha Ferris probably been the best from down in terms of their play. And on the flip side, I suppose you'll have to give it to Kildare women because they've been so strong. And I suppose a few honourable mentions: Claire Sullivan, who came off there, Trina Duggan coming back from a long injury, Roisin Byrne as well, and Nessa Dooley. I suppose we'll have to give it to Roisin Byrne for the few scores that she kicked, the goal that she really kicked on from in the first half, and really set up the play for Kildare. So she's been excellent. She's down now. Hopefully it's not for too long, and like I said, for Kildare.
Yeah, she's down at the moment. So Tommy giving the nod there to Roisin Byrne, who is going to be our player of the match. The Kildare number 11 is down looking for attention at the moment. Hopefully, as we said, it's not serious, because after the last year or so that Roisin had with injury, you're hoping it's just something minor.
Yeah, an honourable mention to both Roisin and Trina, who had two injuries there, two cruciate knee ligament injuries, and they're back today for the first time playing with Kildare. So fair play to them.
Yeah, Roisin is up anyway. That's good to see, and maybe just was taking a breather. She's allowed that after she comes back after the year away with 1-4. As Kildare played forward there with Clifford into the corner looking for Price. Price got a lovely goal not long after coming on. Oh, he's turned inside well there, and she's gone away from Doherty. Pops the ball back out to Nessa Dooley, left footed from a tight angle across the goal. Still in play though. Lauren looking to get there, but she's been held off, but she's won it. Lauren looking to get inside, pops the pass back out. Byrne has an opportunity, onto her left, onto her right, back to the left and over the bar. Amy Lauren, fair play for keeping that ball going, and Price as well, Tommy.
Yeah, that was excellent by Amy Lauren and Price. Really wanting to get onto the ball, and that shows their want to get into the team for the next day. Kildare have a few headaches to make for the team the next day. Diana Hora has a few big decisions with the few players that have played today.
Yeah, after today there's a few putting the hand up alright for staking the jersey. It's going to be hard to maybe take it off some of them, and then there'll be a few subs will be hoping they might get a chance the next day. But interesting to see. They have Longford, and that's coming up next weekend, a home game, as Grace Clifford wins this ball back, nearly runs into Fiona Trout, but the referee saying that the arm has been pulled there, so it's a free. And as we said, Down, who were competitive with Kildare the first 20 minutes of the game, Kildare weren't having it all their own way, and eventually that scoring burst, Tommy, they got 4 before half time. That meant 1-7-4, and they really, came out in the second half and kept it going, put the foot down.
Yeah, probably the last few minutes in the first half probably was something to come for Kildare. In the second half they've really blown down out of the water. They're really struggling with the pace down at times, and I suppose with a few subs coming in, a few younger players coming in, they're giving everyone a go to see who they can get for this the rest of their league campaign and for the junior championship.
No doubt, as action continues here. 3-13 to 6 points. It's the Lidl Ladies National Football League Division 3 round 1 encounter, and some people have seen enough now, but nearly saw enough after the third goal went in, and that came, as you said, 2 goals in 90 seconds. Ciara Price and Nessa Dooley, that game was done and dusted at that point if it wasn't done prior to that. As Kildare look to build out from the back now. And Leisha Lennon directing the ball to Roisin Byrne. Byrne goes down, got a bit of a knock to the face there after she played that ball, and just making sure she's okay. Kieran Groom is allowing the play to continue now. He's hauling a halt. It's going to be a free in, I think.
Yeah, there could be a card here as well.
Well, he's thinking, is it a Kildare name?
No.
I have to say the challenge on Byrne should have been spotted, but he decides to call a halt anyway. There you go. Don't think we'll worry about it now at this point, I suppose, but Kildare 3-13 to 6 points, Tommy, a significant victory.
Yeah, Kildare will be very, very happy with their style of play. I suppose in the first half they were kind of tentative at times. Their build-up play was slow, but in particular in the last 10-15 minutes and going into the second half they were very, very strong, getting their ball in, delivered into the full forward line, and really made hay there when Down kind of struggled to really get out of their half at times in the second half in particular, get the ball up into the full forward line.
Yeah, Look, Kildare are on I suppose a hiding to nothing here. They're on a home turf. They know they've 2 games at home. I'm sure that's been drummed into them over the last couple of weeks, Tommy, that, you know, if they want to be in the final, they have to keep winning games. 7-game league, but it's the top 2. You definitely win your first 2 games at home, you have to be winning them. And, you know, apart from maybe the nerves or whatever, the first 20 minutes, once they got over that, you know, they kicked on.
Yeah, they really did, and even a few younger players. A special mention to Anna Donnelly, who's really kind of cool, calm and collective in the goal. A few of the kick-out options were excellent. In terms of throughout the field, you really seen a strong setup defensively, and it really built from there. In terms of getting Trina Duggan and Roisin Byrne in particular back on the pitch, Hazel McLaughlin as well was excellent in the first half, and even seeing the likes of Holly Turrell get on the pitch as well for some game time for the first time ever, with Kildare shirt on the back, was really, really good. But I suppose the biggest headache for Diana Hora in the future is looking at her team, deciding who she's going to pick for the next day against Longford, because a lot of people put up their hand to make a claim for the spot in the team, the starting team, and I suppose it's all roads look good for Kildare at the moment. But I suppose if you were down in the down camp, you'd kind of be disappointed with the performance in the second half. The first half, in particular the first 20 minutes, they're really, really competitive, really few hard hits going in, but they really, really kind of faded away in the second half, be that from a few simple mistakes, a few simple errors, and the goals really killed them off. Katie McKay probably could have conceded more, but through a few good saves coming off the line a few times, she really stopped a few goals from happening. Megan Doherty and Order Boyle, probably like I said, the standout players, and Natasha Ferris, probably the one big thing for Down in the future is looking into the trying to get the ball up into the full forward line a bit quicker, to the likes of Ferris and Jessica Foy, who actually came on as well. Like for the team, how much did they come away with? I think it was 4 or 5 points in the end, which probably isn't a great return for 60 minutes of football, or 62 minutes of football in the end.
Yeah, it's not. You know, you'd imagine when you consider the experience that they have a little bit of work on now. You would feel for them. You know, they've got to quickly bounce back, because they've another game, obviously coming up next week. And you know, you lose 2 games on the bounce, Tommy, you probably can kiss goodbye to being in the final ultimately. Yeah,
and Down, I suppose last year they got into a semi-final and of the league campaign. If you need to be winning at least one of the first 2 games for Down going forward. They really need to work on their attacking prowess and try and get going. In terms of Kildare, I suppose for the next day, they need to keep on winning their home games. That's how you get promoted. It's interesting. It was an interesting format. I'm not too sure if it's the same. It's only the winner of the competition goes up and gets promoted, and they come down, which again it makes it even more crucial for teams like Kildare to build up momentum, and Down probably for the future, for themselves, for confidence, they need to start building up momentum in Division 3. They're in a tougher division than most other teams in the junior championship, but they really, really have to concentrate here and really put pedal to the metal here, shoulder to the wheel, to really come back for next week. I don't know who they're
trip. Yeah, they're down to Wexford now. Wexford have won today, so you know, you're talking about Wexford having 2 home games, Kildare having 2 home games. They'll be looking at targeting those points. It's going to be a tough ask for Down.
Yeah, in particular Wexford are fair strong. Obviously, they've been thereabouts in the intermediate championship, both in Leinster and in the All Ireland. So it's going to be a difficult road to travel for Down, and it's a difficult format for themselves, because 2 away games starting off isn't always the best way to start a league campaign. But look, if they take a few learnings from today, you never know what could happen. They probably, like I said, need to their transition from defence to attack needs to happen a bit more fluently, a bit probably quicker, but there were some very, very good elements from the Down play. But I suppose all today was about Kildare, how I suppose apart from the first probably 15-20 minutes, how Kildare were so dominant across the board, and even getting on to the few new players there from the minor ranks, working their way up into the senior ranks, has been quite impressive. And even a few older players like, well, I hope they don't mind me saying older players at this stage, but people like Claire Sullivan, Trina Duggan, Grace Clifford, Roisin Byrne, Ellen Dowling, still around. That bodes well for the future as well, for Kildare. Having that mix of young and old, experienced and inexperienced, is really, really important for themselves. So yeah, hopefully, well, I'm a Kildare man, so hopefully Kildare can go further in this competition, and in particular in the intermediate championship, but they're really setting their stall out early here with a good impressive display.
Yeah, good impressive display it was indeed from Kildare, setting the stall out early, and they have been victorious. So Tommy, many thanks for joining us here. Hopefully you enjoyed the afternoon with us, and we might get you back again, but that's how things have gone. Tommy Mullick, thanks indeed for joining us this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks very much, Killian. Really enjoyed the game. Thanks.
Okay, so victory here for Kildare, and a fine win indeed. We're just going to take a short break, and then we're going to be talking to player of the match, Roisin Byrne. She joins us in the next couple of minutes. Stick with us. Thanks indeed, Luke. We're back here in St. Conleth's Park in Newbridge, and I'm joined by our player of the match, Roisin Byrne. Roisin, how does it feel to be back?
Oh, it's unbelievable. There was times last year where I didn't know if I would be back, and it's kind of, I've tried not to think about it too much this week, but like when the final whistle went there, it kind of feels nearly like All Ireland, just the fact that I was able to get back and we had such a good win today.
A good win, but for yourself, like it obviously physically, mentally, everything, it must have really asked an awful lot of yourself mentally and the body as well to be able to get back out here.
Well, it was actually, I was saying to Owen there, this was where I had my injury, so this was the last pitch I played on, so kind of that was in the back of my head a little bit, but I think you just kind of have to, I've done so much work over the last year and a half that if something happens, but it's not my fault because I've left no stone unturned. I've got back as best I can, so you just kind of have to have that in your head that I have done everything, so that's the confidence you need to have then going back in.
Let's talk us through the goal. Kildare have missed the penalty, and then the kick out falls exactly for you, probably on the top of the D. I think when you put the head down, you're only thinking of one thing. Oh
yeah, well I was going to boo it. Sometimes when I put my foot through it, it just goes straight at the keeper, but thank God it actually went into the corner this time. I think like Nessa is unbelievable, like she rarely ever misses, like, so I think to get a goal straight back after that just kind of got our morale up a little bit, and we kind of kicked on from there then, but yeah, I had only one thing on my mind when the ball dropped to me.
20 minutes gone, down or not going away, and then you kind of got a little bit of a foothold, and I think you got 3-4 on the bounce just before half time. I think that was important, wasn't it? Yeah,
to be honest, I think it probably says a lot about us that we went in at half time and we were probably disappointed in our performance. We were 6 points up, but we still were kind of going in thinking, God, we did this wrong, we did that wrong. Not to be overly negative, but like we knew that we didn't play probably 70% to what we're capable of in the first half, so I think we kind of settled ourselves at half time. Everyone sat down, had chats in their own little groups, and we came back out saying that we needed to perform a lot better in the second half, and I think we did then.
I think you did, and you probably put I know this ground hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Kildare ladies over the years, but that's a fine win maybe to kind of put away now that a little bit. You've parked that.
Yeah, I think so. Personally, I absolutely love playing here. Like it's just, it's sure, when you're growing up in Kildare when you're a kid, this is the place you want to play. So to have first round of league here, and we've got such a professional setup this year. Like I think a couple of years ago, league is kind of nearly like seeing how people are getting on. Now people are trying to get on the panel, people are trying to show themselves, people are treating this like championship, which I think we need to, because we really want to win Division 3 this year, and we want to win a Leinster, we want to win an All Ireland, so we need to be starting at the start of league.
Well, you've started 2023 well. Great to see you back, Roisin.
Thanks,
congratulations.
Thanks, Killian.
Roisin Byrne talking to us here, and we're going to bring in Diana Hora now as well to have a little bit of a chat, of a handshake there. Diane, I'm sure you're glad to see that lady back.
Yeah, she was just absolutely fantastic. She was incredible today, Killian. Jeez, I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable. I mean, at one stage there was 2 and 3 players on her, and she has such an amount of talent, her knowledge of space and where to find it, what to do with it, how to get into it, how to get away from it. Like, you know what, with Roisin leading the way, it was just fantastic to see today. But I think in general, we had a shaky first 20 minutes. and then we started to kind of play and kind of settle. So it was a huge thing for me today to see how they managed themselves. Like I'm immensely proud of them.
And I'm just thinking of 2 returning players, and I'm not looking to single out anyone, but I just think it's great that they came back from serious injury and they really led the way. I think Trina added an awful lot to defence, and obviously Roisin did as well. But there's so many out there now. You have some headache for next week, I think.
Yeah, I certainly do. But I'm delighted. I'd said it even before this match that there's huge competition for places, and I think in terms of all of the changes that we had made as the second half progressed, it didn't unsettle the team.
No.
And Down put on some heavy hitters there that we would have been aware that could cause us some problems, and again it didn't unsettle it. And I'm so proud of the way that they've been, I suppose, pushing and fighting for each other at training, because the work that Bria Noonan and Con Brennan have done with them, it's really starting to show now. And we just had to kind of remind ourselves of that at half time, because we're just getting lost nearly in the moment and forgetting about the plan. So it's a very good. It was a very good thing to have witnessed, to watch them manage themselves back into the system and structure and the way we want to play.
Yeah, and that's obviously something you must be immensely proud of, because I think into conditions, there's a fairly strong breeze here. We mightn't have seen it on the television at home, but they just didn't rush anything. Take your time, and I think the 2 goals that you got in the second half kind of encompassed that you were patient, build up out here, wait for the right pass.
Yeah, and as you would have seen it, downward pressing on us on our 45, which is, if the ball turns over there, we're in a spot of bother. And I have to say, it was really good to see the way the girls controlled it. They moved the ball, go again and again and again, every time supporting, backing up your colleague or your teammate, whatever it was. And I loved the way that that they directed each other on the pitch, that they told each other, let's move it on, where to go, how to, and there was just such great leadership, and the communication was something that we kind of looked at a couple of months ago, that needed to improve. And again, watching how they managed the game themselves and scored probably one of the best goals I've seen this year so far. It's early stages yet now, we might have 1 or 2 more, but it was an incredible goal. They just saw it open up, they saw the break, and they just went for the jugular.
Finally now, as you said, you have the bit of headache for selection next week. Important now to build on this, I would think. I'm not trying to put any pressure on you early doors, but just conscious of this league, you can't afford to lose any ground. So Longford now at home next week.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to put in a good performance there. Like, they beat us here last year. I'm not sure of the venue just yet, but they beat us here last year. So we kind of need to reassess, have a look at where we can still improve, because we're going to keep striving for that no matter what happens. But in terms of team selection, it'll be pick a team to play a team, the same as today. We picked players in certain positions that we wanted for the team that we were playing today. So that's the kind of thing that we'll have to have a look at. I thought it was great to get so many girls in today. You can't put in everyone either, but again, we'll work on it. We'll do a bit of work, but a lot of girls are away in college now this week, so we'll be a little bit disjointed for our preparations for next week. But again, the college is only for a few more weeks, so hopefully we'll be able to kind of keep things a little more settled.
But a happy woman this evening anyway, starting 2023.
Yeah, I'm relieved today.
That's good.
You just never know what the first game is going to fire up with you. So.
Of course, and that's very true. But you're up and running, Dan, so congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Thanks indeed for joining us. Diana Hora there of the Kildare ladies, giving us her views and opinions then on this encounter. And we have been joined, and thankfully, sportingly so, thanks Caoimhe for joining us from the Down management team. That was a little bit of a chastening kind of performance today, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jesus, baptism of fire there today. We have to hand it to Kildare. They were the better team all over the field. They won battles in nearly every position. And look, we go back to the drawing board and we go again. We start looking. We said this was going to be a building year after the relegation to junior last year, and that we have our targets to hit. We still have those targets to hit, and that's performance targets in game rather than winning a game maybe now. So we'll be looking at straight away with things to fix. We have to look at our kickouts, we have to look at lots of things. So plenty of work to do this week. But no, we'll go back hard at it Tuesday night. We've no other option. But
let's have a look at it though. And I have to say, I was saying it a lot on the commentary. 20 minutes in, and you're going toe to toe, and you're thinking the conditions and everything like that. Now, if we can see it out to half time here, we won't be far away. But Kildare got a burst of 4 points to put push on your kickouts, and that probably was the telling of the game, wasn't it?
Absolutely. No, they kicked on definitely in that second quarter in the first half. Like, you know, they had the wind and we were maybe, you know, thinking we'll hold this and we're holding it well, and no, they stepped up a gear and stepped ahead and left us behind, and you know, it's something we have to fix. You know, we said to the girls there, it's a whole team effort. It's not just them, it's not just us, it's everybody. So we've a big effort to put in now to look at that, and the video won't make pretty viewing now from our perspective, but has to be looked at. It's one of them things, and that's sport. That's why we're in it, because we back at it and you never know what way it'll go, so we have to go hard. But no, we've lessons to take out of that. We have to take responsibility for that. That's on us. You know, and we'll go hard now on Tuesday night and try to fix those things.
But again, Caoimhe, the fact that you've been able to bring in the players, you know, minor players, they're getting an opportunity of, you know, testing themselves out at this level. That's important, as you said, as you know, building something go forward.
Absolutely. And we said to the girls there, this is game 1 of 7, you know, and it's a long time till the later parts of the championship, till the Ulster Championship and the Junior Championship. Then it'll be coming up in the May, June, and July stages, and it is a long time till then. And you know, all we can ask is that we improve, and that's what we'll be looking. And we're delighted that we're able to blood new players. Niamh King made her competitive debut there, and you know, we were delighted to see that and came on and going hard. I actually think she got injured there after the game. I don't know what she did. She went over on herself, but delighted that those girls were able to. And there's a wealth of talent in Down, and like, you know, we do have a young team, we do have an eager team, and listen, those girls will be back. You know, well, we know that they don't like being written off, but there's work to do, and by God, we have to do it. We're starting at the bottom here. Yeah,
and you don't have long. As I said, the games are going to come thick and fast now. My last question to you, obviously away now to Wexford next week. Hard being on the road twice in a week.
Well, home to Sligo.
Home to Sligo, sorry.
Yeah, so Sligo and Park Esler next Sunday, and then we're away to Wexford. So there's no easy games in this. A 2-week break, and then we're home to Longford, away to Clare. So it's thick and fast, like, and we know that. So you win or learn, and we've a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, well, hopefully you'll be able to turn that home game into an advantage. Thanks, Caoimhe, for joining us here, the Down Manager. Thank you. As we reflect then on the victory here today for Kildare. It's a resounding enough victory in the end for them. And quickly, just to let you know as well, in Division 3 Round 1 games, it was a fairly substantial win for Clare against Sligo. Louth have defeated Longford by 2-13 to 1-8, and Wexford got the better of Offaly. So maybe some of the expected results out of 4 encounters here this afternoon. But Kildare victorious in the end by 3-13 to 6 points. Roisin Byrne bouncing back with a player of the match performance after her year away with injury. Good performance for Diana Hora in her first competitive outing as manager of Kildare. But Kildare get the points here. Down, well, they must face into another big encounter next weekend. With my thanks to Tommy Mulick, to Owen and Luke in the background, I've been Killian Whelan. We'll talk to you soon.